Well, folks, we all know the story. 4 brave astronauts head off into space and come back forever changed.
Greetings and welcome to Nerd College 101. Both Marvel and DC are releasing films this summer that harken back to the early days of their publication history and feature some of their most iconic characters. In recognition, we wanted to do our part and provide some background information in the hopes of enriching our viewers' movie-going experiences. So if you haven't already, check out our video breaking down the history of the Man of Steel after you're through here, and without further ado, let's dive into the history of Marvel's first family and go over what we know about their upcoming movie.
Invitation, sir.
I should be on that list.
Name?
Stan Lee.
Yeah, nice try, buddy.
No,
Nice try.
really,
Nice
I'm
try,
Stan
yeah.
Lee.
In 1960, DC Comics launched a brand new series called Justice League of America, in which their most popular heroes joined forces to fight greater threats than they could handle on their own. It was wildly successful, and fans loved seeing the iconic heroes interacting with each other, both in the field and back at home. Partially in response, and partially due to the creator's desire to create a comic where the characters actually behaved realistically, the at-the-time soon-to-be legendary duo of Jack Kirby and Stan Lee over at Marvel Comics created their first team of superheroes together in 1961, and called them the Fantastic Four. The way the two would work together, in which Lee would come up with the general ideas, hand them off to Kirby to draw and flesh out, and then finish with the dialogue after Kirby worked his magic, would later be called the Marvel Method and would set the standard for how the company created comics in the future. The Fantastic Four's debut was met with unexpected success, and over time the comic would become one of Marvel's most popular, and was even used as a launch pad for other potential heroes. In fact, well-known characters such as Black Panther, Adam Warlock, and Black Bolt of the Inhumans all made their first appearances in the pages of Fantastic Four. Like all comics, their popularity would ebb and flow over the years, but the team has consistently remained some of the most well-known and respected characters in the Marvel Universe. The Fantastic Four consists of the brilliant scientist Reed Richards, his gruff but skilled friend Ben Grimm, the ineffable Susan Storm, and her hot-headed brother Johnny. As we see in their debut comic book appearance, whilst attempting to win the space race for the US, our 4 protagonists embarked on a mission in an experimental rocket ship, but during the voyage were bombarded by cosmic rays which gave them their incredible abilities. Richards was given the power to stretch his body into any shape and decided to call himself Mr. Fantastic. Ben Grimm, more tragically, saw his appearance forever change into a being made up of dense rock, but was gifted with superhuman strength and durability and took the name The Thing. Susan gained the ability to make herself disappear and project unseen force fields, and would call herself the Invisible Girl before later changing it to the Invisible Woman. Lastly, Johnny Storm was given the power to change his body into one made completely of fire, which usually happens right after he shouts his catchphrase, "Flame on!"
Sorry, what now?
Calling himself the Human Torch, he's able to fly when transformed and can emit and manipulate flames. Although their abilities were rudimentary to begin with, over their decades-long history, the Fantastic Four have used their powers in so many creative ways and against so many powerful opponents. In the modern era, the veteran versions of the team stand among the most capable and formidable in all of comics. Reed Richards is now canonically one of the most intelligent characters in all of Marvel, and his powers have expanded to the point where he's nearly invulnerable. Sue has never been one to be trifled with, even by supervillains, and her force fields are powerful enough to hold back cosmic entities. Johnny stands out as one of the most powerful energy manipulators amongst the Earth-based heroes, and Ben has gone toe-to-toe with Marvel's heaviest hitters on plenty of occasions. All this goes to show that in comics, the longer you've been around and the more respect you accrue among fans, the more powerful you tend to become.
Did you just...
Johnny, stop it!
That's it, Tinkerbell!
No, Ben.
You wanna fly? Then fly!
Aside from their fantastic abilities, another reason the Four stood out from their contemporaries was the comic's focus on personal relationships. Unlike other superhero teams, they were an actual family and behaved as such. This meant the team would sometimes disagree, hold grudges, or even squabble with each other from time to time, but underneath it all there was always a very strong love for one another. Reed and Sue's relationship and eventual marriage is the rock that the team was built on, but each of the characters have their own specific dynamics with each other. Here at the Nerd College, we've always enjoyed the brotherly antics that take place between Ben and Johnny, since someone needs to keep the Thing from being so grim all the time. Eh? Ben Grimm? Anyone?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
As the saying goes, a hero is only as good as their villain, and the Fantastic Four have been arched by the best of the best, with Victor Von Doom standing supreme amongst them. Dr. Doom, as the world would come to know him, became the team's primary antagonist after his first appearance in issue number 5, and along with being worthy of an entire video dedicated to him alone, has become one of the most popular and oft-referenced villains in all of comics. Other villains who have made their first appearances menacing the team include Galactus, Kang the Conqueror, the Skrulls, the Kree, Agatha Harkness, and even the fearsome Mole Man. The team also frequently interacts with Namor the Submariner, who, alongside the original Human Torch, was introduced back when the company was still called Timely Comics and was brought by the Fantastic Four into the modern day. Alongside their thousands of comic book appearances, the quirky quartet has had quite a few successful outings in television and film. First appearing in their very own cartoon in 1967, the series was created by Hanna-Barbera and consists of 20 episodes that later introduced the team to a wider audience. In the 1978 animated show, the part of Johnny Storm was replaced by the family's robot Herbie, who is scheduled to appear in the new movie. Although there's a popular legend that states the Human Torch was replaced due to concerns that viewers would try to light themselves on fire to be more like him, the change actually occurred due to a licensing issue. The team's most recent series, Fantastic Four: World's Greatest Heroes, premiered back in 2006 and ran for 4 years, despite a somewhat mixed reception. Although the series helped introduce the characters to a new generation of fans, longtime devotees were divided on other aspects such as its art style and storytelling.
It's problem time!
The Four have made some lasting impressions on the big screen, but one of their most famous was a film that technically never even premiered. We would be remiss if we did not mention the 1994 film that wasn't released, but was instead produced by Roger Corman and Bernd Eichinger simply to allow Eichinger to keep the film rights at the time. However, the cast and crew, being unaware of the film's eventual fate, poured their hearts into the production, and because of that alone, it contains some charming moments. Perhaps even more than the actual movie, we highly recommend you check out Doomed, the outstanding documentary that covers the film's production. Produced by 20th Century Fox, the first movie that was actually released to theaters starring the Fantastic Four came out in 2005 and was quite the success at the box office. Although the film receives mixed to negative reviews today, we find it hard to find fault with its starring performances. For longtime fans, it was rewarding to finally see a live-action adaptation, and it's hard not to have a good time watching it. Its sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer, premiered 2 years later, and although it initially performed better than its predecessor, it would end up selling less tickets overall. Still a financial success, the second movie features some memorable moments, but as a whole, comic book fans were underwhelmed, in no small part to the film's somewhat generic final act and its questionable portrayal of its major antagonist.
Reed Richards, Victor Von Doom.
Well, it's great to meet you.
Hi, Susan.
Hey, Victor.
Fox would make one more attempt at success with a Fantastic Four reboot, frequently referred to as FanFourStick. The movie currently holds a dismal 9% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Here at the Nerd College, we don't advise letting anyone's opinions affect your decisions, but the critics might be onto something here, completely dismissing the atmosphere of scientific optimism and bright visuals that are usually associated with the franchise. The 2015 movie instead opted for the most bland color palette imaginable and characterized the leads as entitled children who cause more problems than they solve. A tale as old as time, the film reportedly fell victim to massive studio interference, particularly during the editing process. We don't even blame the cast, as they seem to be doing the best they can with what they were given. And this has been said a million times already, but what is going on with this movie's Dr. Doom? What is this? Moving on.
I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus.
After Fox was acquired by Disney in 2019, they handed over the reins to the franchise, and the Fantastic Four was finally able to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Their highly anticipated reboot began its production in July of 2024 and will premiere in US theaters on July 25th, 2025. Titled Fantastic Four First Steps, the movie will be directed by Matt Shakman, known for directing and producing WandaVision, as well as his work on other spectacular series like Mad Men, Succession, and Game of Thrones. Featuring an absolutely amazing cast, the new movie seems to be fully embracing the vivid colors and 1960s-inspired retro-futuristic aesthetic of the team's earliest escapades and showcases a musical score by multi-award-winning composer Michael Giacchino. From what we know so far about the plot, our main characters seem to exist in a universe separate from the rest of the MCU, in which they are already world-famous heroes complete with a cartoon based on their adventures. Family life is progressing as normal for our protagonists when their peace, as well as that of the world, is shattered by the sudden arrival of the Silver Surfer heralding the arrival of Galactus, Devourer of Worlds. In the comics, Galactus is one of the cosmic entities and exists in the upper echelons of power, rivaling even that of the Celestials. Thankfully, in the upcoming movie, it looks like he will finally be portrayed in all of his purple, spiky-helmeted glory, unlike in some previous adaptations. Spooky Cloud! Knowing as little as we do about this new version of the team, we're excited to see how they handle the threat and how their world will tie into the multiverse of Marvel stories that we already know. Fantastic Four First Steps looks to be taking the franchise back to its roots and is focusing on the aspects of the characters that have made them so respected and beloved by fans throughout the decades. Marvel is hoping that this new movie will revitalize its cinematic universe and set the stage for future stories, and as longtime fans, we're hopeful that they'll succeed.
We'll face it together. As a family.
And that's all for today. Let us know in the comments section below if you learned something new and what you'd like to see covered by our channel in the future. For introductions to a wide variety of films, shows, and anime, check out our playlist in the description below. And make sure to subscribe and leave a like, as it really helps our channel grow. Thank you for watching. Now, off to your next class.